Seniors, these two vitamins are destroying your leg strength after 60. Wait, what if I told you the vitamins you thought were helping are actually draining the strength from your legs? After 60, your body doesn't respond to food and supplements the way it used to. And here's the harsh truth. Some of the health boosters you take every morning might be the very reason your legs feel heavier, weaker, and cramp up at night. Sounds crazy, right? But the science is real, and most doctors never bring it up unless you ask. In today's video, we're pulling back the curtain on two vitamins that may be quietly destroying your leg strength. And that's just the beginning. You'll also discover the common everyday foods that speed up leg fatigue, weaken circulation, and leave your muscles screaming for relief. If you've been feeling more tired, slower to recover, or simply not as stable on your feet, this might just explain why. And best of all, once you know the truth, you can fix it faster than you think. It's strange, isn't it? One day your legs carry you with ease, and the next, they feel like you've strapped on concrete boots. Many seniors wake up to this reality, not because of age itself, but because of everyday choices that quietly chip away at leg strength. It's not just the big indulgences. Even things as innocent-looking as a daily multivitamin or a bowl of cereal can slowly drain the power from your muscles. And most people never connect the dots. Take, for example, a habit like starting the day with a sweetened yogurt and orange juice. Sounds healthy, right? But pair that with a calcium-heavy supplement, and you might be unknowingly disrupting your body's ability to absorb critical minerals for muscle function. That tightness you feel in your calves during walks? It may not be just age, it may be your routine working against you. These small, overlooked details can add up fast, like termites in a wooden floor, silent but destructive. If your legs have started to feel heavier or you've been avoiding stairs more often, it's time to look beyond the obvious culprits. The issue often isn't just getting older, it's what you're putting into your older body. Food, supplements, snacks. What if they're sabotaging your strength in disguise? And the first villain hiding in plain sight might just be something sweet and deceptively delightful. Imagine pouring syrup into a car engine. Sounds absurd, right? But that's pretty much what refined sugar does to your muscles, especially after 60. Excessive sugar intake sets off chronic inflammation, silently eroding your energy reserves and making your legs feel like jelly after a short walk. The culprit isn't just that dessert after lunch. It's also hidden in flavored yogurts, granola bars, and even so-called healthy smoothies. Let's make it real. Picture Mrs. Thompson, 68, who loves her daily pastry and sweetened coffee. She always blamed her sluggish legs on arthritis. But when she swapped those sweets for fiber-rich fruit and cinnamon tea, something shifted. Her morning walks became longer, the stiffness faded, and for the first time in years, she didn't need to hold the handrail going downstairs. Cutting sugar was the switch that lit up her legs again. What most people don't realize is this: sugar isn't just a weight problem, it's a strength problem. It messes with insulin, zaps your muscle fuel, and fast-tracks muscle loss. Your legs need stable energy, not sugar spikes. And while you might think it's just a slice of cake, your muscles are screaming for mercy. But there's another silent threat just as dangerous that's probably hiding in your dinner plate. Every crispy bite of fries or golden chicken might bring comfort, but your legs are paying the price. Fried foods are loaded with trans fats and saturated oils that do more than just clog arteries. They strangle blood flow. And when blood struggles to reach your leg muscles, those muscles starve. The result? That dull ache in your thighs, the fatigue after a short walk, or the cramps that wake you up at 3 a.m. They're not just coincidence. Let's talk about James, 72, a retired mechanic who loved his fried snacks while watching sports. Harmless pleasure, he thought. But his legs began cramping often, and short errands felt like marathons. When his doctor suggested cutting fried foods, he switched to air-fried veggies, grilled salmon, and olive oil. In less than a month, he felt lighter, quicker, and even slept better. The grease wasn't just on his plate, it was weighing down his life. The damage fried foods cause isn't always visible at first, but it builds up, silently sabotaging your circulation, making it harder for nutrients to reach where they're needed most, your legs. And while fried treats may be hard to resist, the real cost is measured in stiffness, weakness, and missed moments. Speaking of hidden costs, there's another everyday food that spikes your blood sugar like a roller coaster, and it might be sitting in your bread basket right now. At first glance, white bread looks innocent, soft, simple, familiar. But beneath that golden crust lies a metabolic trap. Packed with refined carbs and stripped of fiber, white bread sends your blood sugar soaring. And when that sugar crashes, so does your muscle energy. Over time, repeated spikes damage the cells that feed your muscles, especially in the legs, accelerating fatigue and shrinking strength. Think about it like fueling a campfire with newspaper. It burns hot and fast, then dies out just as quickly. That's what white bread does to your energy levels. Susan, 65, used to start her day with toast and jam. By noon, she was exhausted and had trouble climbing stairs. After switching to sprouted grain bread and adding avocado, she noticed more steady energy, and her legs didn't feel like anchors anymore. A small swap, a big difference. Most people wouldn't put white bread on a list of foods to avoid, but when it comes to leg strength and circulation, it deserves a spotlight. The problem isn't just what's in it, it's what's missing: fiber, protein, micronutrients. Your muscles need stable fuel to perform, not empty carbs. And while bread can be comfort food, some comforts quietly rob your vitality. And speaking of robbers, the next one comes in a glass and feels harmless at dinner, but causes havoc overnight. A glass of wine with dinner or a cold beer on a warm evening might seem harmless. Some even believe it helps relax the body. But as we age, alcohol becomes less of a treat and more of a thief. It dehydrates your muscles, blocks nutrient absorption, and silently inflames your tissues. That stiffness in your calves or that late-night Charlie horse, it might be traced right back to what's in your glass. Let's take Leonard, 70, who enjoyed his nightly glass of red wine. When leg cramps became frequent, he blamed poor circulation or just getting older. But when he paused his drinking and boosted his hydration with water and coconut water, the change was profound. His legs stopped cramping, and he had more endurance walking his dog each morning. Alcohol wasn't just hurting his liver, it was draining strength from his muscles. It's not about cutting it all out forever, but being honest about the trade-off. Alcohol weakens muscle recovery, disrupts sleep cycles, and starves your legs of what they need to heal and perform. And while it may seem like a small indulgence, the long-term cost can feel enormous, especially when combined with another unsuspecting food that might be on your breakfast plate tomorrow morning. Those neatly packaged slices of ham, bacon, or sausage might save time in the kitchen, but they can silently sabotage your strength. Processed meats are loaded with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that disrupt blood flow and overload your body with inflammation. This toxic combo makes it harder for nutrients to reach your leg muscles, slowly draining their power and resilience, step by step, bite by bite. Picture Maria, 67, who made sandwiches with deli meat every afternoon. Over time, she noticed her legs getting sore after short walks, and the stairs in her home began feeling like a mountain. Her doctor suggested she replace cold cuts with grilled chicken, hummus, and leafy greens. A few weeks later, she was walking farther, resting less, and even dancing again on weekends. Her legs weren't the problem, the food was. People often think protein is protein, but that's like saying gasoline and sugar water are both fuel. Processed meats clog your system and demand more from your body than they give back. And when you stack them on top of other harmful habits, the damage multiplies. But wait until you see what one steaming hot, seemingly harmless meal can do to your joints and legs. They're cheap, quick, and oddly comforting, but instant noodles are anything but harmless, especially for aging legs and joints. Packed with sodium, artificial flavor enhancers, and preservatives, these convenience meals wreak havoc on circulation. Poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your muscles, leading to stiffness, joint discomfort, and a nagging heaviness that lingers long after you stand up. Take Harold, 69, who relied on instant noodles as a late-night snack. Over time, his knees started to ache, and his legs cramped during morning walks. When he swapped noodles for lentil soup, boiled eggs, and sautéed veggies, the relief came quickly. His energy rebounded, and so did his confidence. What felt like joint aging was actually just sodium overload and missing nutrients. It's easy to fall for the illusion of ease, but that ease often comes at the cost of long-term vitality. Your legs aren't just tools, they're engines that need quality fuel. And when they're starved or bloated from the inside out, every step becomes a struggle. Now, imagine something cold and creamy that might seem like a harmless treat, but inside, it's a perfect storm for muscle cramps. It's the evening delight we all crave, a creamy scoop of ice cream after dinner. But here's the scoop most folks never hear. Industrial ice cream is often a sugar fat bomb laced with additives that clog circulation and trigger inflammation. That sweet pleasure can tighten your legs, stir up nighttime cramps, and slow down your recovery after even light activity. Let's talk about Denise, 64, who loved a bowl of vanilla chocolate swirl every evening. She noticed her legs twitching at night and assumed it was just stress. But when she traded her ice cream for frozen banana blended with almond butter and cinnamon, her sleep improved and the cramps disappeared. The difference was night and day, literally. Most commercial ice creams contain hydrogenated oils and high fructose corn syrup, two enemies of healthy muscle function. They block your body's natural circulation pathways and increase fluid retention, especially around your legs. And while the cold treat might seem innocent, its aftermath lingers in the form of discomfort and fatigue. And if you think milk chocolate is any better, well, there's a reason your metabolism might be working overtime, for the wrong reasons. Milk chocolate might feel like a quick pick-me-up, but it can turn into a slow drag on your muscles. Loaded with refined sugar and fat, it creates chaos in your blood sugar levels and overwhelms your metabolism. This sugar-fat combo messes with how your body absorbs nutrients, leaving your muscles, especially in the legs, underfed and overstressed. Imagine Robert, 66, who kept a small stash of chocolate in his nightstand just for emergencies. Those little squares became a nightly habit, followed by restless legs and morning stiffness. When he replaced it with a square of 85% dark chocolate and a handful of almonds, he noticed a shift. Fewer cramps, better focus, and more morning pep. Turns out the treat wasn't harmless after all. It was hijacking his energy. The problem isn't that milk chocolate is bad. It's that it sneaks in more sugar than your muscles can handle and disrupts your body's nutrient pipeline. Your legs need steady nourishment, not roller coaster sugar highs. And if you think that's the last of the hidden dangers in your pantry, wait until you see what those harmless canned goods are actually doing inside your body. They're convenient, long-lasting, and stack perfectly in your pantry, but canned foods often carry an invisible cost. Loaded with sodium, preservatives, and sometimes even heavy metals from the lining, these foods can trigger chronic inflammation and fluid retention. That puffiness in your ankles or that tightness in your calves. It might be the can, not the calendar. Eleanor, 71, used to rely on canned soups and vegetables for quick meals. They seemed practical, until her legs began to feel stiff and swollen after dinner. Once she switched to frozen or fresh produce and low-sodium broths, the results were almost immediate. Her mobility improved, her legs felt lighter, and even her skin looked healthier. She didn't need a new routine, just cleaner fuel. What most people overlook is that inflammation doesn't always scream, it whispers. And those whispers show up as aches, heaviness, and slower recovery. The preservatives and salt lurking in canned goods interrupt your muscles' ability to repair and function well. And if that sounds bad, it gets worse when we bring processed cookies into the mix. They look innocent in the package, soft, sweet, and perfectly filled. But those cream-filled cookies are a metabolic nightmare. Artificial flavors, trans fats, and processed sugars combine to clog nutrient pathways, inflame tissues, and reduce blood flow. The result? Heavier legs, less stamina, and muscles that feel like they've clocked out before you even get moving. Let me tell you about Thomas, 69, who couldn't resist his afternoon cookie and coffee ritual. Over time, his short walks turned into struggles, and his legs felt constantly tired. After switching to oatmeal cookies made at home with honey and nuts, the difference was staggering. He regained that lightness in his stride and energy that lasted past lunchtime. All it took was one smarter swap. These processed cookies aren't just empty calories. They actively block your body from doing what it's supposed to do, deliver energy to your muscles. They're disguised comfort, but the after effects hit hard. And unfortunately, the trouble doesn't end there. Because deep inside many savory foods lies a hidden chemical that disrupts your nervous system. You've probably seen it on ingredient labels as MSG, and maybe even heard it makes food taste better. But monosodium glutamate doesn't just wake up your taste buds, it can quietly disrupt your nervous system. For seniors, this means tingling sensations, muscle aches, and even coordination issues. MSG messes with neurotransmitters, which directly affects how your leg muscles communicate with your brain. Consider Walter, 72, who loved takeout stir-fry and flavored chips. When his legs began to twitch and feel weak after meals, he thought it was just poor circulation. But after removing MSG-heavy foods and switching to fresh herbs and spices, his symptoms vanished. He didn't just walk better, he moved with confidence again. MSG is often hidden in sauces, spice mixes, frozen meals, and even healthier snacks. It's a sneaky saboteur that inflames nerves and dulls muscle response. And the worst part? It's still found in many low-cost convenience meals. But even more surprising is how vitamins, the very things we trust to help us, can sometimes make everything worse. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? A vitamin, something you're told is good for you, can actually cause harm. But too much vitamin A, especially from supplements or fortified foods, can build up in the liver and joints. This overload leads to muscle pain, weakness, and even issues with absorbing other essential minerals. It's like pouring too much oil into an engine. It clogs instead of lubricates. Take Joyce, 70, who started taking a high-dose multivitamin daily to boost immunity. Within weeks, she began feeling stiffness in her legs and strange joint pain. Her doctor reviewed her blood work and found elevated vitamin A levels. After switching to a food-based, balanced diet plan and dropping the megadoses, her symptoms faded like morning fog. Most people never suspect their supplements, yet they can silently create imbalances. Excess vitamin A doesn't just sit quietly, it interferes with muscle function and weakens your body's ability to use other nutrients. And if you thought that was surprising, wait until you hear what can happen when too much vitamin D builds up where it shouldn't. Vitamin D is often hailed as the sunshine vitamin, and rightfully so, but like too much sun, an overdose can burn you. High doses of vitamin D, especially from supplements, can cause calcium to build up where it doesn't belong, like in your muscles and kidneys. This leads to cramps, stiffness, and, in more serious cases, impaired kidney function and chronic fatigue. Let's look at Greg, 68, who doubled his vitamin D intake after watching a video online. He wanted stronger bones, but instead he got aching legs and sleep disruptions. Once he reduced his dosage under medical supervision and included natural sources like eggs, salmon, and moderate sun exposure, his symptoms eased up. Sometimes, more isn't better, it's just more trouble. Many seniors supplement with vitamin D without realizing it's already hidden in fortified foods like cereals, dairy, and even orange juice. When levels creep too high, calcium deposits can stiffen muscles instead of strengthening them. It's a classic case of too much of a good thing turning bad. Now that we've pulled back the curtain on these hidden dangers, it's time to pull everything together with a message that can change lives. So now that you know the hidden dangers hiding in your daily habits, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you going to keep trusting that label on your supplement bottle? Or are you ready to take real control over your strength, one smart choice at a time? Because your legs carry more than just your body. They carry your independence, your confidence, and your freedom. And no one deserves to lose that just because of a snack, a pill, or a shortcut masked as health. Let me ask you this. Which of these foods or habits surprised you the most? Have you experienced leg weakness, cramps, or fatigue recently? Share your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found value here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I'll be bringing you even more eye-opening truths and practical solutions to help you live stronger, longer, and smarter, starting today.